I'm Tanith White here in Philadelphia, kicking off the road to Rio here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We're in Princeton, New Jersey, San Diego, Clay High School in Oregon, Ohio, just outside Chicago, Katy, Texas, here in Boston.
Go out and have fun. And try to be the best as you can be. It doesn't matter what that is compared to other people.
Join us on our road to Rio.
And this is all just the beginning as we continue down the road to Rio in 2016 to the 31st Summer Olympic Games. To stay up to date with everything Team USA, go to teamusa.org.
Well, good morning, everyone. Here we are on day 3. We are so happy to have another fantastic 34 athletes on the docket today. We're going to get started with women's basketball this morning. Thanks for hanging with us. We hope you have a great day and a lot of productive interviews.
Candice Parker catching and finishing. Candice Parker. Taurasi and Byrd, they've been doing it since UConn. The best backcourt in the world for the United States. Byrd and Taurasi in the backcourt. Seconds, and for 5 consecutive Olympic Games, you can stamp the gold medal made in the USA for the women of the United States.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Caroline Williams. I'm Director of Communications for USA Basketball. I want to thank the USOC for hosting us here today. And before I get into the to introducing the athletes, I just want to give a brief rundown because we do have some significant anniversaries this year. Basketball, as you all probably know, was first played in the Olympics in 1936, but it took 40 years before women's basketball was added to the Olympic program. And in 1976, the U.S. team traveled to Montreal and returned with a silver medal. And in 1984, right here in Los Angeles, not too far from where we are this morning, the USA captured its first of a record 7 Olympic gold medals in women's basketball. 20 years ago in Atlanta, the U.S. began its record streak of 5 gold medals, a streak these women hope to extend this summer in Rio behind the leadership of Hall of Fame head coach Wnba, who is currently getting ready to attempt to win an 11th NCAA championship. In all, the USA has won 58 games and lost only 3 in Olympic play, and the U.S. is riding a 41-game winning streak that dates to the bronze medal game in Barcelona. We currently have a total of 25 finalists in the running for the 12-member team, 16 of whom were able to participate in the most recent USA Basketball Women's National Team Training Camp, which was concluded 2 weeks ago in Connecticut. In the back tables right outside the door, there is a roster of all 25 finalists. I will spare you from reading the entire list. But now those 25 athletes are playing the waiting game. The USA Selection Committee will meet in the coming weeks and to make the final decision on who will be going to Rio later this summer. And until then, these 25, including these 4 athletes here, are just hoping that they've done enough and will be named to the team later on in hopes of extending that gold medal streak to 6. So first of all, I'd like to start with I'm not going to say oldest, I'm going to say veteran, most veteran athlete here with USA Basketball. Tamika Catchings first started playing for us in 1996 before she even started at the University of Tennessee. Since then, she has won 3 Olympic gold medals, 2 FIBA World Championship gold medals, and 1 World Championship bronze medal. She recently announced that she will retire at the end of this WNBA season. She just got married on Super Bowl Sunday, so she got a pair of victories. She got a husband, and she got to see her friend Peyton Manning from Tennessee win the Super Bowl. She also just penned a book called Catch a Star, Shining Through Adversity to Become a Champion, and has some wonderful stories and advice in that book. So Tamika, I'm going to start with you. You've been through a number of close games at the Olympics. People say that, oh, the women's basketball team, they always win, there's no drama, but I think that you know otherwise, especially, most recently in 2012 when your team was down 4 at halftime in the semifinals against Australia. So if you wouldn't mind, would you talk about how your team has been able to sustain this level of excellence?
Yeah, I think for us, and we had a great role model. We had great mentors before, and so, looking at, for us, the 2004, 2008 Olympics, and then most currently the 2012 Olympics, every single time we go out, everybody's gunning for us. So you never have an opportunity to not have a good game, hence the World Championship game, and we weren't ready to play. But I think since then, every day we go out, we train like the next game is the most important game. People ask us constantly, who is your biggest competition? And I'm like, you know what? Everybody is, because they all play their best games against us. You want to be the country, you want to be the team to take the USA out. And so, I feel that we've had really good coaches that have kept us mentally prepared for every single game. And then even our teammate, as we've gotten, Sue and I have gotten more seasoned, and Candice right behind, and EDD. But, we've gotten more seasoned, just making sure that we keep the USA tradition alive, and that everybody that comes in to our families, knows what it is to compete on the highest level and to bring your A game to play at 100%, whether we're in practice, whether we're in the game, and making sure that every single game we go out, every single possession, that we play it to our fullest capability. So I think overall, when you look at the success that we've had as the USA team, a lot of it is just making sure that we keep that tradition alive, for one, but that we go out and we compete to the best of our ability at every single opportunity.
Thank you, Tamika. Next up is Sue Byrd, who was on a USA Select team that played the 2000 Olympic team in an exhibition game. She was still in college. She swears Teresa Edwards didn't break her ankles on any sort of plays, but I don't know. 2 years later, she wrapped up her UConn career and with the national championship, was on a plane almost the next day, came out to Colorado Springs and started training with the national team, and joined the World Championship team later that summer. She has since won 3 Olympic gold medals, 3 World Championship gold medals, and 1 World Championship bronze medal. So Sue, over the past 4 Olympics, or 3 Olympics for you, the U.S. roster has been filled with a lot of talented athletes. You just got finished with the training camp in Connecticut. What are you seeing in terms of talent for this year, and how difficult is that selection going to be for the committee?
It's incredibly difficult. I always say I do not envy the people on that committee, because right now we have that pool of 25, and you could probably literally pull 12 out of a hat, send them to the Olympics, and they would have a chance to win a gold medal. That's just how good our country is right now in this sport. And I think what the committee tries to do is put together not just the 12 best players or the most talented individuals, but a group that's going to come together as a team and play as a team and complement one another. And I think with that, they've obviously done a great job in my experience in the last couple of Olympics. So I have all the confidence that they'll do another great job for Rio.
Just one quick follow-up. During the camp, Gino said that he wasn't going to come back for this second go-around without you and Diana. What are your thoughts on that?
He likes to talk. No, he was our college coach, so, for the Connecticut players, sorry guys, it does have a little extra, it's the icing on the cake for sure to be able to play for your college coach again, because, these guys can tell you, that's, once you graduate college, it's an opportunity you think you'll never have again, right, to play for your college coach. So to actually do it And then for us UConn players, it could be the second time we get to work with Coach Wnba. And I'm sure for some of us, it might be the last. So it could be a cool way to end.
Thank you.
But he's just talking trash. Don't believe a word he says.
Candice Parker, she first came out with the USA national team in 2006. I think was the youngest athlete on the World Championship team in Brazil, and that was the bronze medal that I had referenced before with Sue and Tamika. Candice went on to win a pair of gold medals at the 2008 and 2012 Olympic Games. She has been playing overseas almost full-time since she graduated college, except for maybe a couple injury seasons. She's got a 6-year-old daughter, and this year opted not to compete overseas, minus a little small brief stint in the China playoffs, so that her daughter could go to school here in Los Angeles. So Candice, can you just talk a little bit about how you balance motherhood, training at the elite level, and just get that workout balance, life balance?
Well, I think I'm fortunate to play and to be involved in a job where your kid can be a part of something that you do. And so I was 23 when I had my daughter, and so this is kind of all I've ever known, just like the balancing act of things and just her coming along. And I think with USA Basketball, they've really done a great job of accommodating, you know, me being a mother and wanting her to be along and understanding, you know, the grind behind it. My mom has been huge in coming along on trips, and my teammates, you know, you would look up and when she was younger, she'd be sitting on Catch's lap or Sue's lap, and I'm sure she'll be on Elena's lap next time.
She'll be Elena's lap.
You'll be on her lap. But yeah, it's fun because she's really grown, and you can look back at the years and see, you know, she started off as little and has gotten bigger. So it's fun for me to be able to see as a mom her understand at 3 when we won in London, and her try to take my gold medal to school with her. But it's neat to experience this and have her come along for my career.
And she tries to tell people that she won a gold medal?
She won a gold medal, yes.
And finally, we have Elena Delle. She is the youngest of these 4 Olympic hopefuls, but the WNBA MVP has been making quite a case for herself to be named to the team. She competed in her first games as a member of the USA national team during its 2015 European tour and averaged 13.8 points a game in helping the USA to a 4-0 record. She has been with USA Basketball. She competed in the 2011 World University Games as well, and this would be her first international major with the USA national team. So Elena, while many of your peers have suffered a lot of various injuries throughout their careers, you've got a unique thing that you're trying to overcome, or you're having to battle daily. Elena was diagnosed with Lyme disease while she was in college, missed some games with that, as well as in the WNBA. How difficult is it to monitor that and manage that, and what do you have to do, and how are you able to stay at such a high level of excellence?
Yeah, so I mean, right now there isn't a cure for chronic Lyme disease, so it's been a part of my life. And as important as training is, it's even more important that I follow my health regimen and take care of my body. So that supersedes anything. And the biggest thing is just controlling inflammation and fatigue. So travel can be really difficult for me, so I make sure to bring all my goods, roll out, bring my little blow-up legs, and just do various things, a lot of massage. And so in a regular day, if I train, you know, if I pour in 3 hours into my body with training, I have to pour in 4 hours into my health. So it's kind of just become a second job to me, and it's a part of my day. And a lot of people, you know, go through various things and persevere. So, you know, I feel like I'm very blessed to be in this role and competing to be in the Olympics. So I'm not going to let anything like a chronic illness hold me back.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions, and if you would, please raise your hand. We've got a microphone coming around. We have one right over here. Please state your name and your affiliation.
Marisa Gaona, American Forces Network, broadcasting to the troops and their families overseas. Many of them will be watching probably late into the early morning hours as you compete at the Olympics. How does that make you feel that you're giving some of the troops, especially the ones downrange, a break and a touch of home to be able to cheer you on as you go after the gold?
I can't, yeah.
Is this directed to anybody in specifically?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I can't.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, well, you know, for us, putting on that USA jersey, it obviously represents so much more than you can really even put into words. And, you know, we work super hard to try to get on the court, but we realize that there are people who are serving our country in much larger and greater ways. So if we provide any kind of entertainment to take their mind off anything, I'm all for that. And we really enjoy that experience. And we've actually, through the years, particularly, where were we going? Particularly a year or two ago on our way to, I don't remember, all the years are like one big mush. We got to spend a lot of time with members of the military, and we exchanged, you know, we got their dog tags and things like that, and it was a really cool experience. And again, to have that cool relationship, I mean, that's something that's, you know, just a byproduct and something I think we all enjoy. Yeah, we were in Annapolis. So we've developed a great relationship with the military, and again, I mean, if we can entertain them, cool. They do so much for us.
Down here, and then we'll go. Oh, sorry, you've got to.
Okay. Nick Oliver, Olympic rings and other things. Last night, you each got to play a little ball with the Paralympians. I wondered if that was the first time for each of you, and also your reflections on that experience.
That's definitely the first time I've been in like one of those wheelchairs. I've always fooled around in my sister's wheelchair, but that one was pretty awesome, and you could really move and manipulate the chair. But it was so difficult. Like so many times the ball would like go over my head, and I thought I could get it and jump up, and I couldn't. But it was amazing to see how well they manipulate those chairs and how quickly they could move on them and stop and turn and lean and block shots. So I was so impressed with that sport.
It's my second time. Actually, during the NBA All-Star Weekend, I had an opportunity to run a clinic, and they had a chair for us, so we got to get in and play around. But, you know, kind of what Elena said, I mean, it's really incredible what they're capable of doing. And the really cool thing for me was watching the young kid that came out and did the first session with us, and then he got in a chair and came back and went with the Paralympians. And, you know, just being a part of that, I mean, I think we take for granted sometimes what we're able to do and being able to go out and play basketball. But I think we talked about this as we were walking out, the joy and the spirit of that kid that came out and played was, it was awesome to see. Like, he didn't let his limitations stop him from one day wanting to be an Olympian. And, you know, just watching him play and watching him out there just moving around, like, it was cool for us to be a part of.
One here, and then we'll go over.
Dorothy Slifko, Fosnet. My question was actually along the same lines, very impressed by the wheelchair demo yesterday, and was wondering, I expected that it would take all four of you quite some time to make the adjustments to shooting from the chair. And what I saw was just like 2 or 3 failed shots, and then immediately the shots began to fall. How did you make the adjustments?
Yeah,
we had some great teachers. I mean, we have when you have a Paralympian teaching you how to do things. No, I just think we were able to kind of watch and see, and by no means were we great at it. I mean, they were slowing down for us, but they showed us the tricks of the trade, and you know, at the end of the day, it's basketball. You know, it's people going out trying to perfect their skill, and we had some good teachers.
So this question is for Tamika and for Sue, and you guys have to answer it for Candice and Elena. So, you know, DJ Khaled's on Snapchat, and he's busting out his major keys to life and success every day. You guys are on your quest to 4 gold medals. I believe you guys will get it. To the younger ones who are on their quest as well, what is the key to success to maintaining and sustaining?
I don't know who said she was young.
Young. Yeah. Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
No, just to piggyback off what Tamika said, I think for you guys, I mean, they're obviously very good basketball players. All the young players that we have in our system are very good basketball players. So that part is kind of equal amongst the group of 25, let's say, everyone's a really good basketball player. So it's really what can you bring in terms of winning a gold medal that has necessarily nothing to do with basketball, you know? So it's, like she said, giving 100% all the time, separating yourself in other ways, being a good teammate, all that kind of good stuff. I think that actually goes a long way because everyone can shoot, everyone can dribble, everyone can pass. We're all pretty good at that. So what else can you bring? And lastly, I think it's about stepping outside of yourself and knowing that you have to bring whatever it is you are bringing and are responsible for. So if you're a scorer and you need to score 15, 20 points, you need to make sure you bring that for the team. And if you're, you know, the defensive stopper, you need to embrace that role. So I guess really what I'm trying to say is whatever your role is, just make sure you're living up to it to your fullest capability within that team. Because it's all about the team once we're together going for that gold medal.
Over there and then right behind.
Karen Rosen with TeamUSA.org. This is for Elena. Do you remember the first time you saw Team USA play in the Olympics, or what you remember about that? And also, is it at all intimidating to be part of this group who have all these medals between them?
Yeah, I definitely can remember back and just being in awe of the greatness and excellence that that team brought. And it's not just that, but just watching over the years how the team just continued to improve and get better and sustain that gold medal. That's what was so incredible to me because, you know, a lot of times teams will win something and they get, you know, complacent with it. But for the team to just continue to improve and add certain pieces to the puzzle, like Catch, like Sue, like Candice, is what's so special about it and why I so badly wanted to be a part of it. And yeah, I'm certainly in awe of all these gold medals. I think last night I was being introduced after them, which was embarrassing. You got to introduce me first, all right? But I mean, their accolades are second to none, and it's not just because of their basketball skill, it's the people they are. And that's what's so special about being a part of Team USA is getting to know them even more as people.
What Olympics was it? Do you remember the first one?
It would be Lisa Leslie. Yeah.
Which one? She had 4?
No, it was her last one, actually. Yeah, perfect.
We were there?
Yeah, we were there too. You didn't see us?
No. It might have been her, no.
We were there?
Second to last.
I'm just
So
playing.
yeah.
Well, I was there for that one too.
Sorry, Sue was there then. Sue was there.
I'm just playing. Catch was there too.
We've got here and then we'll come.
I'm just kidding.
You all were there.
I was not.
Tom Burke, Examiner.com. Tamika, congratulations on publishing your book. It's often been said of books of your type that they're very much self-enlightening and cathartic. Can you describe how the process of writing the book came about and what you learned about yourself through the
I'm sorry,
publication?
How'd the process of writing your book come about?
Oh,
and what did you
yeah,
learn about
sorry.
yourself?
Yeah, like I have a hard time hearing. I'm like, what? For me, really, it started like 3 years ago. And I do a lot of speaking engagements. I travel around the world, do a lot of basketball camp, have my own foundation, the Catch the Stars Foundation, so I do a lot. And after I get done speaking, a lot of people would come up to me, parents and people in the audience would always ask, do you have a book? Do you have a CD, a DVD, something that we can take to our kids or something that we can take to inspire others? And I would always say, just hold on, we're working on it. So it's been a 3-year process. It's been very exciting. Just being able to share my life. I was born with a hearing problem, a speech problem, have to wear hearing aids. Unfortunately, I don't have them on today. So I got made fun of a lot growing up. And so for me, it was always trying to figure out a way that I could fit in. And that's where sports came into my life. And it was like, okay, my dad played professionally, played in the NBA for 11 years. But before that, I played soccer as my first sport. Softball was my second sport. And then I started playing basketball, organized. And so I talked about my journey, and I ended up throwing out my hearing aids because I just wanted to fit in and be normal and be like everybody else. And then it wasn't until my freshman year in college that Pat really got me back into wearing my hearing aids. And so I talk a lot about my journey. And so really coming up with the idea for the book, it was a matter of all the obstacles that I've been able to overcome. And I think, just listening to Elena, and the things that she's had to deal with, being able to persevere and being able to put your differences and what they call your quote-unquote disability to the side and being able to, be successful. I thought that that's something that overall we can all learn from.
Take 2 more questions and then we'll go to the breakouts. I believe we've got one over here.
Melissa Isaacson with ESPN.com. For Candice, I know it's been 6 years, but can you talk about, we've had the opportunity to talk to several mothers who are Olympians, and they've talked about all the good times and stuff. Can you talk about some of the challenges in getting your body back? And you were obviously very young, but some of the challenges involved in being a mom and a world-class athlete.
Unfortunately, I've had a lot of injuries in my career. I've torn my ACL. I've had shoulder surgery. I had something else with my knee, broke my foot, and that pales in comparison to how hard it is to come back after having a kid. Your mind tells you to do certain things that your body just can't do, and so I think it's just about staying the process, and I think just the mental toughness you develop as an athlete helps you get through trying to get your body back, and just understanding that it is a process. And so I think obviously now she's 6, so it's normal now, but the first year is tough.
Last question right here.
John Ed Howard, I'm with ESPN.com. I had a two-part question. The first is probably more for Tamika and Sue. Do you have any personal memories of the Atlanta games? We heard about the history, and they kind of are often seen as an important moment in women's sports, and I don't know if you have any personal memories of those games. And secondly, as the more veteran members of the team, Brazil has quite a history of basketball, and I was curious what kind of atmosphere you expect to encounter there, because fans there kind of express their emotions differently than here sometimes.
I definitely have memories of Atlanta. So I was probably 14, 15 years old, 15, 16 years old. And that was right around the time where basketball was becoming super important to me, and I was getting recruited by colleges, and I went and watched that national team. Obviously took a humongo tour that whole year, and even in America they played a bunch of college teams, and they played I think they played against China when I saw them maybe. I went to one of the games. So I have a lot of vivid memories from that, and then from that gold medal run, was the WNBA, born. It was the birth of the WNBA. And again, for me, and maybe for you as well, not to speak for you, but it was just at a really pivotal point in our lives in terms of basketball and what that was going to mean and represent. And we probably were one of the few, or one of the first, I should say, one of the first classes to choose a college knowing there was professional life in America after it. So I chose Connecticut knowing hey, if I do well there, I could get drafted, versus probably people 2, 3, 4 years older than us, that didn't exist. So that whole time was super exciting. I remember talking a lot about it a lot. And then, of course, just how dominant they were. I mean, they were so incredibly dominant. And yeah, Jen Azey, Dawn Staley, Therese Edwards, those were the point guards. I'll never forget that and watching them.
Yeah, and then I know for me, I was a freshman actually already at University of Tennessee. And so for me, it was wow, watching the 96 Olympic team, and I always talk about this just from, Dawn, Cheryl, and Lisa, those were my role models. And so watching them as young athletes competing and knowing oh my God, the WNBA coming up. And in 7th grade, I made the goal I was going to be in the NBA, and I was going to follow my dad's footsteps. So it was a matter of, I was I'm going to the NBA. I don't care. I'm going to do it. And so when the WNBA came, it was just kind of oh my God, even better than the NBA. I have something that I can do, that I can play with women that are just like me and that aspire to be great. And so I just remember watching the 96 Olympic team and having a goal that one day I'm going to be there, and I'm going to play, and I'm going to be a role model to so many people that, like they did for us. And that was actually my first year playing with the junior Olympic team. And so, being in Colorado Springs at the same time that they were training here and there, and knowing that, it was just really cool to be a part of that. And I think as far as looking to Brazil, we expect, we hope a lot of people, we know a lot of people are going to be going over there. I know we have a lot of family and friends that are planning their trips and planning to go. So the fan base, every Olympic Games that we've been to has been great. When you look at basketball and you just look at all the sports, but basketball in particular, you draw so many people to the game, and people just want to come and want to be a part of the USA men's and women's team. So I think that the fan base is going to be great over there.
We played in Brazil in 2006.
Yes.
And we played against Russia and lost. That was like our one loss in like however many years. And there were a lot of people there. I'm sure a lot of them were Brazilian, and they were cheering against us. So that is my memory. I'm sure that'll be the case again. But you know what? It makes for a really exciting atmosphere. So, like Tamika said, I know they're going to have that noisemaker thing. I forget the name.
Oh.
I remember that noisemaker thing.
Vuvuzela?
Anyway, they're going to be loud, and that's exciting. That's what you want, right? You want like this crazy atmosphere, and you want it to be fun. And really, every Olympic Games we've been to, when I've gone to other events, and Brazilian teams were playing, I mean, their fans show up. So I have no doubt that they're going to be present.
All right, thank you, everybody. We're going to give us a second. We'll get set up in these breakout rooms next door. Before I break, I just want to let you know that we do have at USA Basketball, we've got a media release list specifically for the women's national team. If you are not on it and would like to be added to it, please see me, and I'll make sure that we get you on there. And that's it. We'll see you next door.
Thank you. I remember them too.
Shake, shake, shake.